Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com. where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com or visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
Welcome in to the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska eSports coach.
Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown. 98 yards and a Lambeau leap.
Here is your host, Ahman Green.
Hello. Hello. Welcome to the Ahman Green Show. I'm your host, Ahman Green. Looking to my left, I see my man, the CEO, the boss, DP in the house. How you doing?
It's joy, man. This is 100% joy.
And then I got my man Harrison to my right over here. How you doing, Harrison?
Doing good. We got the grand opening this week, so I'm pretty pumped. This thing's fully coming together.
It is. Official. Every time I come in, I see stuff a little done differently or stuff neatened up a little bit, and I'm liking it. I'm loving it.
Constantly teaching, coaching, adjusting.
Yes, exactly.
We
what
know
we were talking,
more.
What we were talking before we went live. Let's go and let's get into that conversation.
Let's please.
So we're questioning what we've been seeing on the football field the last several weeks with our Huskers, players and coaches. And I'm speaking from just my personal experience as now esports director here in my alma mater, and what the process, I say my journey to where I'm at now. And what I've seen and what I've experienced really is unfortunate, because it's always been what I've seen is that guys in front of me, they get hired, they just know somebody. They know somebody from another team they coached on, or
they know your dad,
uncle, brother, cousin, cousin third remove, something.
Yep.
And not having what I have that I bring to the table. 12 years NFL experience, 3 years at a D1 college at a high level during that time here. And then, being a multi-sport athlete, being an athlete in general. So then I could come in right away, instantly, have that buy-in from a player, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, if I, this hypothetically was here or any college D1 program. Within a couple of days, if it's not here, within a couple of days, they'll figure out who I am. They'll either Google me, who's this Coach Green? Then they'll be like, oh, it's that dude.
Well, but you also, the moment you speak from knowledge, and you don't have to guess. You don't have to.
Correct.
You don't have to lure them into it. What you're saying, you're speaking from direct knowledge of the thing that they need to know. And the moment they hear you say it, it tells them that I can believe it because it's from a place of knowledge, not of data. And people confuse
data
and analytics to knowledge of a thing that you've actually done and gone through in high volume at high level.
High level. And then also, along with being now a coach myself, and something I realized when my son was in college, he went to Mankato State up in Minnesota, just outside of Minneapolis. Played running back there for 2.5 years. He had transferred from Rochester, that was just a little bit south of there before that. And so once he got there, Mankato was actually a pretty darn good team. And the influx of my son transferring over, he brings another part of a game that they need to help in, which was the running back. They had a kid starting already that was an upperclassman, being like redshirt sophomore, so technically a junior. And just watching my kid into the play, I'm watching it unbiasedly because I know that it's a system. You get guys who've been there longer. Or some coaches look at that. I know my coaches didn't look at that here. They looked at best man plays, here in Nebraska. But now I've been taught, and it's what I've seen through the high school ranks and through the college ranks. Unfortunately, it's that, this player's been here longer, he's going to get more time. Unfortunately, even though he's not the better player. And I saw that, and I was telling my wife that because she's frustrated. Why is our son not playing? And I'm like, I break it down. And I said just to her what I just said right here on the air. I was like, it's not that he's not good. It's that the other player's been here 1 year longer.
Trust.
It's the trust that might have been built up. Hopefully just more of a common football trust, like as it was with me growing up, playing sports. Coaches put me in because eventually they saw right away, Ahman's going to be dependable. He's going to play hard, and he knows his plays. So when you get that from a coach, they're not going to second guess their decision to put you in any situation.
And they've seen you in the high repetition of practice.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
That, he's running the same play against the same defenders with the same blockers and getting more production.
Yep. And so for me, bring that back to here as a freshman. I'm doing this by week 2 of my freshman training camp. Coach Osborne, Coach Solich, Milt Tenenper, Charlie McBride, they're all seeing this. And they're like, okay, this kid, eventually we're going to need to put him in somewhere. We don't know where because we have Lawrence Phillips. So we got a guy that we already know that's that dude.
And he's the guy.
He's the guy. So, but just in case something happens, we recruited well. We found this kid right up the street at Omaha Central. So thank the Lord for that, because that did happen
right
a few weeks into the season. We already know the story. I know the story. So back to today, and I say finishing off my son's story was something I realized. It was got that aha. It was that one of those aha moments I had as a parent, as a coach, as an athlete, because I was watching the team play, and they're at this time in the mid-season. They're only, I think they're like 4-1 or 5-2, something like that. And they won the previous season. They won the whole conference up there. And so they in a situation. They're at midfield driving the ball. They're up by 2. 3rd and 5. What do you do, DP? At midfield, up 2. So you got about a minute and so left. You have timeouts. Other team maybe has 1. 3rd and 5. What do you do?
I'm not throwing the ball because I want the clock to keep running. I got the lead. I got the ball. Best player, safest play, productive yardage. I'll take the positive yardage because whatever space I'm in.
Yep.
And then I'm going to reload again. I'm going to let the clock run down, and here we go.
And that's exactly what I'm thinking in my head. What they do, play action pass.
Oh,
interception, like on the opposing teams 35-yard line now. They got one timeout. It's like a minute 30 to go. So within 3 plays, they're in field goal range. Kick a field goal and win. And so from that play on and then the rest of the season, my aha moment was like, this is not the talent. It's the coaches.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had a young pro, wasn't, I say, actually it was not a mistake. I look at it as when I see mistakes done from either one, naiveness, where who I'm referring to, Justice Fields, a couple weeks ago mentioned, and he really directly didn't say the coaching. He was kind of saying coaching and this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. People don't realize that. But people's going to catch on to the fact, he said, my coaches, and then they just stuck on that. But he was adding in all these other layers of things, that being one of them, that needed to get fixed. And we saw a decent production of offense for the Bears this weekend, not a win, but better production. But to that standpoint is, regardless of the talent you have, regardless, if the coaching is not doing their job, if the coaches are not telling the kids or letting the kids know, hey, reaffirmation of, good job, that's how you do it. Mm-hmm. When you're correcting them, when you're disciplining them, you giving all that affirmation, because then they could go out with the confidence to say, all right, I am this good, and I've seen it on film. I repeated it over and over again, rinse and repeat. And because that's how I built my confidence from the time I was a kid all the way to once I got here, when I was, started watching my own film. And something I didn't do a whole lot in high school, but it's just the way things were. So now for kids today, where they're sometimes behind the 8 ball because of transfer portal, because of NIL and different things going layered on top of stuff, just being a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have that moment, you have your time, if it's in practice, if it's in a game or whatever, the big plays come, then you're overthinking it or not even knowing what you're doing in the first place because nobody showed you.
Well, and you're putting things on the plate that don't need to be on the plate.
Correct. That's why I said overthinking. That's where the
right.
overthinking comes in.
Remove. I mean, that's such a big part of coaching is kind of recalibrating focus.
Yep.
Like allowing people to just be present. I don't need you to think, because this is the thing you've done 10 times.
Exactly.
We were talking about the Harburg 4th and 1, and it was like, why would you do a thing that you had not done before? Don't leave your feet, because we haven't practiced leaving your feet.
Correct.
Just do what we practice. And the same thing goes for the people who are blocking up front. Don't reach. Just do what we ask you to do.
Shoot low and drive. Everybody does it now, and I know Philly does it religiously. There's teams now copycatting Philly's rugby scrum for a first down, which is genius. I mean, I played rugby for a couple years after I was done with playing in the NFL, and it is the best team-oriented movement that's in football now that's been in rugby for probably 100 years.
Well,
since the inception of rugby.
Best blocking, best running, best tackling.
Yeah.
All in rugby.
Yep.
All in rugby. Like we can like there are coaches who try to steal some of those things and put them over.
Seattle did that.
Yeah.
They pretty much got close to mastering it, but you got to do that. You got to think outside the box, because obviously this is a different game, different talent, different mindsets. I got right away when rugby became a thing in terms of tackling in the NFL, because the transition was changing towards targeting, the helmet, where does it hit, where does it strike players, ever since the whole concussion situation came up. And that around that time, that's when I started coaching high school football in Wisconsin. I was at Oak Creek to coach my son. And then I got back in Green Bay at Southwest and then Freedom. So during those years, I was making the transitions. I was, telling myself, okay, this is what I got to coach these players on how to be physical runners while still protecting themselves and the person tackling them, and vice versa, because I coach linebackers. So it's like, all right, linebackers, now we got to change the target area. You got to be aware of this. And that's just, so if they're not hearing this from me, who are they going to hear from? If their mom and dad is not into athletics.
But you had the convenience of being a runner.
Correct.
Teaching linebackers how to defend what you know better than anybody else, which is running the football.
Correct.
But you as a runner, where did you want, like, if somebody's head was in front of you, were you more likely to feel them than if their head was behind them? Like, that was always the prism, the spectrum you had to work on.
Yeah.
That if I'm trying to tackle Ahman Green, I need, in my head, science tells me I should have my head in front of you to at least impede you a little bit more, to take some of your energy away.
Yeah. But
in the rugby tackle, Momentum says that if I can get my arms around you in the same,
along with my shoulders,
along with the shoulders,
now head
that
out
I
of the
should be
game.
able to use momentum to
Mm-hmm.
pull you away from your natural stride. As a runner, which one had more impact for you?
I'll say as a runner, in terms of being tackled,
Yeah,
it will be the one head away shoulder, because then that momentum would bring my body weight with me too and bring me down.
Okay.
And so with the head coming towards me, and if their head is down looking at the ground, they're not even looking at me, that was a problem for them.
Where anybody with a head down against you,
It's going to be a problem.
loss.
They're going to get put to sleep.
Right.
And they have several guys that have done that too,
Right.
because they're in a defensive position. And now they've gave me all the power because I could see them. They can't see me. And I'm going in for contact. And I was basically a trained hitter, like physical hitter, just like a boxer knows how to box and throws the uppercuts. I knew how to do one with same foot, same shoulder, just like Jay as a linebacker. Same foot, same shoulder is when you have basically from your ankle to your knee to your hip to your whatever shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder, that you're running with and going into contact with. When you do that, that is the most powerful position of the human body that is basically came from, if you remember the old movie, the 300, the Spartans.
Yeah.
That's how long it's been around, because that's when they, with their shield
right,
and their sword or their spear, that's what they would do. Same foot, same shoulder, all in at the same time to push people back. And you saw it in the movie. So something that's been around for hundreds of thousands of years. Used in football.
Which sport of the two was the more physical? Was rugby more wear and tear on the body than football, or vice versa?
Just the same. It's actually just the same to be. When I've talked to players, being out there for 2 years with the Olympic team, for players from all over the world. So we just didn't have U.S. players. We had the free agent Fijian players, free agent England players, free agent South African players, because those were the best of the best that wanted to come here to try to help us get good.
Right.
Because like when I was doing that was like 10 years ago, literally, we were not even ranked in the world. That's what we were at.
Well, the All Blacks were
the guys,
kind of the North Star for how everything was going to be done.
The England team was good. So I say bringing in those players, getting in the knowledge, coaching again, because you're getting coaching from the players on how to, drive through the hips and bring the hip and make sure you follow the shoulders. You don't get in, too, over your feet, because that's what happens. The head, once you get your head over your feet, your head is leading into the tackle. So, to make sure you understand that. And then the experiences, those players, I remember Big Andrew, I can't think of his last name right now, but he was a guy that played all over the world. He played for the China national team. He played for the U.S. team before he retired. He played for his Fijian team as well. That's where he was born and raised. And for all that experience, like he's playing internationally from the age of 18, traveling the world and getting literally hands-on experience of basically what we do in America, but with shoulder pads and helmets. And so once I went through that process, those 2 years, and seeing those guys, talking to those guys, seeing the film, breaking it down, they're asking me, is this much? I said, they're asking me things like, would I be able to get, on a roster and stick on a roster in the NFL? I'm like, Garrett is one kid, Garrett, great football name, Garrett Bender. That was his name. He was actually
There's a linebacker.
He was from Minneapolis, but no, he was 6'3", 215.
Yeah.
I'm like, you a strong safety, bro.
Yeah.
And yeah, you will be starting, because every time you don't miss tackles. Didn't miss anything. And I'm like, and it was like 2 or 3 guys that actually went to mini camps at my time there. They went to tryouts for NFL teams, and one got picked up, another didn't. And it's like, they both should have got picked up. And I'm putting them first. I'm going to start them on special teams to teach them the game. But then eventually I'm going to work them into an offensive or defensive position. But this is me, obviously, a seasoned player, understanding football, knowing what the weaknesses are and strengths are of a player as soon as I see them. It takes me one session, and a session being 30 minutes, to see a player and what they need and what they don't need in terms of development, mentally and physically. So for the coaches here around college football, NFL, because we see Broncos and Miami getting, how's the NFL team score 70 points, Harrison?
70 points.
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. Me neither.
I thought it was setting up good for the Bears.
I played in the NFL. I didn't think that I would never, ever see that in my lifetime, but now I have. So, again, it all resorts back to coaching, because you got phenomenal athletes, and they only get better from people around them that are there to help them get better.
That know how to get them better. Like
Right.
you actually know the process. You know the path. You can say, okay, here's what's going to be required of you at this next level, this thing that you say you want. And here's how hard you have to work.
Yeah.
Because you actually did it. And I explain to people, I've been around the game for 35 years. You pick up things.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same as being in the locker room, having to pull yourself up off that bench to go practice when you're already beat up, when you're already sore, to go work out when you have an injury and you don't feel like it, to go to work when things ain't cool at home. You still got to go to work. And those things have to be shared, because most of the college athletes that we know and are aware of, they don't fail from lack of talent.
No.
They all have talent. The question is, are you willing to develop it? Are you willing to go through the work? Are you that toughness that we talk about is just, are you willing to work to get better even when you think you're good enough?
Yeah. And that toughness is physical toughness and mental toughness. And if the mental toughness is not there, the physical is definitely not there. And I say that is a simple blocking drill session, or showing or doing something where there's physicality in a drill and showing that player, okay, this is the technique you should have. And now I showed you everything, gave you the tools. Now I just need you to, get through this drill, and then we'll talk after. And then after basically saying to the kid, or just bluntly say it, I gave you the tools, now you figure it out. And so
it helps to identify too.
Very much so. Because then
are you coachable?
So then the player, if they're listening, in my head is like, you just show me 2 things, so I just got to worry about those 2 things. Like, yeah, that's all you got to worry about. Oh, okay, I got it. And that's just not much thinking. When you give a player a lot less to think about, they'll be a lot less prone to make mistakes and overthink things. Sometimes you just got to just say, don't think about what we talked about for the last week. We're in this situation. This is what we got to do to win. This is it. Focus on that, and we'll deal with the rest after practice. We'll watch film if corrected on film. So.
You're the perfect person to ask this of, because we were talking about 4th and 1, Huskers 4th and 1.
We could talk about this.
2 things.
Yes.
First thing we'll start with is, you're the running back on the field, and they put you in shotgun. First of all,
I'm frustrated.
Okay.
I just want to say that right off the bat. I'm already like, I know that we got to do this, but I'm like, Henry, you want to do something different?
Yeah. Like you want to talk,
I'm like,
nudge him. Give me.
Because I was a stickler with once the play got called in. It took my whole career before I questioned it. And that means I was probably 8-9 years in the NFL before I questioned the call. So at Nebraska, I wasn't questioning the call. So I would just run it. So as a player, as a young player, Heinrich, anybody in running back that was Grant in there with them, they're not going to question that call. But unfortunately, yeah.
And you're the runner in the game, and they choose a quarterback sneak. One of you has it in your job description. And I don't care whether it's Tommy or Crouch or Frost. The better runner and the guy whose job it is to do this thing is standing behind you or next to you.
Yeah. I think it was I think I'm starting with the coaching staff or the coaching decision, wherever the decision came from. I think it was just a part of it was a situational moment where maybe it was a little bit overthinking for a coaching standpoint, because any person that understands what we just talked about for the last 10 minutes, from rugby scrums, what I just mentioned about Philadelphia and what they've been doing successively, that if you so the better chances are you're under center with your QB or even running back, but even if your QB's there, you're under center, your percentages go way up to convert that first down.
You're closer to the line of scrimmage
exactly
with the ball already.
And they're already getting penetration with their D-line. It's a problem. So you get the shotgun, and now you give them those extra yards to get through the line and then be able to size whoever's up with the ball. And it wasn't a handoff, it's straight with the quarterback. So it's just something that I I've definitely experienced as a fan now, on many levels. I got a quick story, and so 6-7 years ago, I think it was, I'm at the Super Bowl in Arizona. It's Seattle and the Patriots. You know where I'm going.
Yep.
So we already know what happened in that game, right?
Yeah.
You should have given Marshawn the damn ball,
Mhm.
right? So fast forward from that game. So this is February of whatever that was, 2014, 15. Fast forward to now Wisconsin. I'm at the Wisconsin game, standing on the sidelines. And he was a coach. He coached me, not coached me directly, but he was on the coaching staff when I got traded to Green Bay, Darrell Bevel.
Okay.
So I see him. He played at Wisconsin, Nebraska, Wisconsin. I'm at that game. Me and my wife standing on the sidelines pregame. I think it's Scott's first year, I believe.
2018.
Yep, somewhere around there. And so haven't seen Bevel in a while, and I saw him. Sent his body, and the first thing comes to my head is we talked a little bit and caught up. Then I was like, all right, got to take me back to that game. I was like, so where was you in the decision-making process between you, Pete Carroll, and Russell Wilson? I mean, you two are head coach OC, so I know it came from one of you two. He said, you know what, Ahman? And I've heard NFL, since the time I got in the NFL, when I knew right away, the next words that came out of his mouth was like, I just had this idea. I was like, all right, that's where you messed up. Right there. I knew that. I started hearing that my rookie year in Seattle from coaches. When I had this idea, it's like, no. I stopped him in the conversation. I said, Darrell, you knew better. You had the best running back in the NFL in your backfield. That previous play, he ran for 10 yards where he ran through half of the defense without no blocking. And then you're going to get him even closer and take his power away by making a decision to throw the ball in a situation where Bill Belichick is drooling at the mouth. He wants you to do it because he's filled up the middle with all his defenders. But you know what? This is plain blunt football. Don't think too much. You know what? You got your D linemen, you got your linebackers in the A and B gaps. You know what? We got 3 plays. If I don't get this in, then we shouldn't have win. That's what you should have. That's the mindset you should have had. And he said, no, yeah, man, you're right. And I'm like, all right, this man, but
it's every bad coaching decision starts with, you know what we should do here?
Yeah, you know what we should do here? Or I have an idea.
Yeah.
I was like, no, you don't have ideas right now.
No.
You have decisions and you execute it. That's it. And I was like, oh, no.
Brutal. Let's get the break. Austin takes a break. That's the AG show on 937 The Ticket.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415 or online at ambitionelectric.com.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-9462.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff, who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just the professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends. An entire week of celebrating Lincoln's craft brewers is just around the corner. October 2nd through the 8th is Lincoln Craft Beer Week. Head to lincoln.org/beer-week for a complete schedule of events at your favorite local establishments. Brought to you by Visit Lincoln. Remember to enjoy responsibly. Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through October 3rd are buy a New York strip and get a free finished flat iron steak. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SCC's Discovery Days will give you the opportunity to experience SCC firsthand this fall. Discovery Days provide information about SCC's programs of study, how to pay for college, SCC support services, housing, activities, and more. A campus tour and lunch are provided. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Guys, you've heard me tell you all about Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. But it's not just me. Folks all over town are getting into shape with the FXB program. Guys like Ryan, who joined at the same time I did a year and a half ago.
Yeah, Mark, I'm in better shape than I have been in quite some time. The people at Farrell's are awesome. The instructors keep the workouts fun, and the owners are engaged and committed to the success of all of their members.
The next Farrell's 10-week challenge begins on October 7th, and ticket listeners get $150 off enrollment. Just head to theticketfm.com. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Vinny Kreekak, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, back in here, and I want to say I got a ton of respect for the coaching staff. I know the process. You know, it's not easy for Coach Rule and his assistants to do what they do. Right. So first off, this is respect there for what they do, how they got to prepare every day, every week. But just like when I was a pro, I got picked apart for our games that we won, games that we lost, and I had to stride through that like a professional. I had to keep my head up. I couldn't get frustrated. I couldn't get annoyed because the reporters are talking about me. My dad could. He'd be like, "That's why he just puts everything on mute." But as a pro, all of us, from guys that we grew up watching to, and us being those guys, being on the, in terms of me and Jay and other former Huskers and other sports or former Huskers, you go through that. You could be in your car driving home from the stadium and the radio station, they just ripping you apart, ripping you a new one, you and your coaching staff. I remember times driving home from Lambeau, we won, and it sounded like we lost on the radio, and at the time, obviously, it was something more of, I had to ignore it because and this is my job. I can't let something creep in and bother me and and then I'm looking at my coach funny, or I'm looking at my teammates funny. I'm not going to let that creep in. That's not going to happen. I'm like, but now where I'm at now as a former player and understand the process of both coaching, being a coach and being a player, I tell everybody that's like questioning it, that are in my friend circle or people I know that we watch sports together or we talk about amongst each other. I say, hey, that's a coaching problem. That's not a player problem, especially at the college level. There's more coaching adjustments that need to be done for the players, unless you're dealing with somebody like a Peyton Manning back in the day when we were playing, because his dad played in the NFL, his brother also played at Ole Miss. When you have something like that where he has experience, he has genetics and all that added on, to his mode as an athlete, that's different. But when you're dealing with kids at the high school level and at the college level, doesn't matter, all the way down to JUCO, all the way up to D1, where we're at right here. It's about the coaching and that coach building and developing these players to make sure they understand, look, you're good. You're not perfect, but you're good. But you got to do these things to stay where you need to be, where you can be a starter for our team. If you go anywhere else and you're playing like this, you're not going to play. Or if you stay here, this is what's going to happen. You got to go through this. You got to go through, learning, making mistakes, getting better, watching film, getting better, building yourself up. And then once you build yourself up, then you start building yourself up with us as coaches, then we could start having that confidence in you. So when any situation pops up, be it from your position or being from a team situation where you got to go on special teams, that I could say to my head coach, if I'm the running backs coach, yeah, we could put so-and-so in. Because I already know he's paid his dues. He's worked hard. I taught him technique. He showed me he's learned the technique. And that basically, as I had coaches in the NFL kind of jokingly say, don't get me fired, basically. Because for them at the NFL level, that was real. But at the college level, it's something where it's the big bounce backs on the coach of your position. If you're not doing certain things that running backs need to do, that tight ends need to do, D linemen need to do, and need to know, it's that whole process of that. And that's what I see and what I know. And it's like thinking back to watching. I mean, I'm going back and watching games that I played or games that from old Super Bowls of other teams and just saying, now I'm pointing out that was a coaching thing, not a player thing. The player should have been told this situation was coming up. So you got to really focus on holding on to the ball. Don't throw it in that direction because they're baiting you to throw it that way to get the pick or get an incomplete pass, because they know if we get an incomplete pass or we get a pick, game over.
Well, so you played with gunslingers, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that you talk to some running backs and they say, I'd much rather play with a game manager because they're going to feed you. The gunslinger will take he'll see something and say, I could
get it in there.
Yeah, I could
get in there, AG. That's what Brett used to say. I could get it in there, AG. I got the power. I got the arm strength. I'll be like, bro, I believe you, but you got 3 DBs. You got 2 DBs and just jaywalk or just drive, or Antonio. And if it's one-on-one, okay, I'm like, I ain't down. One-on-one, you got it. But we're outnumbered and you're throwing there, it's you got to throw it out of bounds, live to the next play.
What did he say to you? What was that huddle like? Because y'all had talent all over the place.
Yeah.
What did he say to you? Like because there's a thing that I remember Favre talking to you a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like once you got out of the huddle, he would talk to you constantly.
Yeah.
What was he saying to you?
Oh, we were talking about, well, coming out the huddle, that's easy. It's I had a former player, Coach Edgar Bennett. Once he came in the building as a player development, and then he wiggled his way into the running backs room.
That says a lot.
And I remember his first couple of days in, he's like, AG, I want you to do this when you break a huddle, especially on pass plays. I want you to do this to Brett. They said when he says the play, and then when everybody breaks, so he's like telling me, give me detailed timing. He says, so when the clap goes, when everybody goes break, and they start heading to the line of scrimmage, I want you to come up to Brett, just nudge him. Hey, I'll be checked down over here on the left side. I'll be checked down over here over the middle. I got scat blitz, so I got scat responsibility, so I'm out in the flat over here on the left side. So he knows. Last thing what he just heard is where his outlet is at.
Yeah.
So he might go through his progression, look deep for Javon or Donald Driver or Antonio, or Bubba Franks, but then he knows because he just got refreshed. Oh, my running back's right here. Boom. And so that was our conversation, and then picking up blitzes, stuff like that. I would tell him, hey, it looks like they're coming over here because they came this side. They didn't get in, so they're going to try to come around on the right side. Now it would be Tampa Bay. They always trying to get in that backfield because they had a good defense.
Who was the toughest team to play? Was it Tampa?
I say within our division, it was Tampa was one, but a lot of people slept on Minnesota games. Our Minnesota Viking game, probably the most physical games we had. They had linebackers when I got to Green Bay in 2000. Their linebackers on a light day were 260. On a light day.
Who was that group then? Who was playing for them that Minnesota was so?
The 2000?
2000.
Okay.
Chad Greeley, is that the?
Yep. Chad was there. If Harrison, he's about to pull it up. I know.
Pull that up for us because I'm trying to wrap my brain around.
And then D lineman, they had John Randall.
They had John
Hall of Fame John. Yeah,
like he talked the whole time.
That was his game, and he was getting in lineman's head, but he was in his own head. I mean, that was part more for him. I met him. He's like, that was more for me.
Was Allen in that crew, or was that after?
Allen,
big 69.
Oh, Jared Allen.
Jared Allen.
Yes, he was there.
Yeah.
Yep, he was there. He was coming off the edge. Well, he didn't have to worry about sacking Brad a whole lot because we were running the rock.
So you had Ed McDaniel. You had
McDaniel.
Dwayne Rudd. He was on there.
He was the lighter one. He was light. He was only about 230, maybe 240.
Yep. John Randall, defensive edge. You had Chris Hovan as well. Tony Williams.
Kevin Williams, eventually from Okie State, I believe. He was a perennial Pro Bowler, and John Randall, Hall of
Kaylee
Famer.
Wong, middle linebacker
from
Kaylee
Stanford.
Wong, we were Jay and I were just talking about Kaylee Wong.
Yeah, he was
because he went down to Houston with
Oh
with
yeah,
the
that's
crew.
right. He was with
Yeah,
Jay.
we were just talking about him today.
Yeah, so having that linebacker core, we had more battles that people probably didn't know of that were more physical than Tampa. Like in 03 and 02, we pretty much we could slug it out with Tampa.
Yeah.
Between myself, Najee Davenport, and Tony Fisher, all of us well over 220, and all of us run physical.
Yeah.
So between the hedges, between the tackles, it was just a matter of attrition. We was just going to wear. It was just basically like my days here. We're going to wear you out. Fourth quarter, that's where we're going to win because now we got a three-headed monster, and you guys got really good DBs. That's not going to stop a 225 running back.
Right.
Run down here in fourth quarter. So
especially in bad weather too.
Yeah, in bad weather, or if we're in Tampa. I mean, the best game we played physically that year was 03. We finished that game on a 98-yard drive. And we ran the ball 80% of the time. We only had like 4 play action plays on that drive. We had, I think it was an 18-play drive.
Were you at an advantage as a runner? Were you at an advantage in December at Lambeau fourth quarter, or was that just it's just cold and you're gonna get what you get?
100%. I'll say I had an advantage because between playing here, whereas I was introduced to the cold weather between Little League, playing with the North Omaha Boys Club Bears. I remember
Shout them out.
Shout out to them. Any player and coach that helped on that squad. My brother Nicky was on there, coaching staff as well, coached me on the running backs. But that season, we played in the game at UNO versus the Kingswood Panthers team, or Cougars, actually. They were their older team. That's the story behind it. I'll tell you. I think I already told it, but we played that game at kickoff at UNO. It was negative. It was probably -20 at kickoff.
Nope.
And so then coming here 4 or 5 years later, playing in, I think our coldest game might have been Iowa State my junior year. It was probably like, but this one was above zero. This was probably like 20 degrees. So it wasn't that bad. But yeah, getting to Green Bay and already having this kind of in my head and in my feel, feeling it, how it runs, how the helmet, if the helmet hits you directly on your hand, how that feel. So having all these experiences, getting to Green Bay, I was like Briar Rabbit and Briar Patch. I'm like, ooh. I was like, they don't know. I don't get tired in the cold weather. I didn't. Like in the cold weather, like I never came to the sideline. Tony Fisher and Najee, they were like, yeah, when it got below 35, we just stayed on the sideline. We knew
this is an AG game.
This is an AG game. He ain't tired. And I didn't. Because I mean, I have my asthma, but I grew out of it. That might have been more mental than anything. But yeah, that cold weather. And for us, what we would do, I remember we had I remember Nate Wayne. he come up to me and so we as linebacker, between linebackers and running backs, we tried not to wear no sleeves unless it was really, really cold. And so he would put, he could do it because he's a linebacker. He would put icy hot on his arms and he, warm him. It'd be warm, make his eye. And he's like, oh man, I'm doing it to make my arms shiny and all this stuff. But having those sleeves for our team and then for the opposing teams looking at us in chilly weather and cold weather, blood curdling weather, as they would how they set it up on Monday Night Football if it's a cold game, or Sunday night they set it up with the commentators. Florida teams would be shook because they'd be like, why you ain't got no sleeves on? It's freezing out here. I'm like, yeah, that was a mind thing for y'all. And the coaches, like, if we didn't do it, the coaches would remind us, hey, if you could go without sleeves, go without sleeves. I'm like, that's easy. I said, you didn't have to remind me. I already know, because I know once they see us come out, Tampa Bay shutting it down.
I'm going to say this again. I've said this to Ahman before. He's barely human anyway. Now he's just confirming. He's just confirming that, like, we were all trying to do human things that Ahman was doing. Ahman's barely human. So,
hey, my wife agrees with you. She's like, you're an alien. You're just going to pop. Something's going to come out and I'm going to find out you're an alien.
One of these days, man. Things to know, man. Things to know. Harrison, let's take one more break and come back and let the Hall of Famer close this one out.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SCC's Discovery Days will give you the opportunity to experience SCC firsthand this fall. Discovery Days provide information about SCC's programs of study, how to pay for college, SCC support services, housing, activities, and more. A campus tour and lunch are provided. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line of tools and equipment to help complete any job. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators for you tailgaters, and much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Drop in to see the experts at 5450 Alvo Road in Lincoln, or visit sunbeltrentals.com today to learn how Sunbelt Rentals can make it happen for you.
Something spooktacular is happening at Bonsall Pool and Spa. From now until October 14th, visit the Bonsall Spooktacular sale to take advantage of this great cash and carry offer. $400 off all in-stock free-flow spas. Also, customers can take 10% off spa chemical and spa cover orders. Stop by today at 3201 Pioneers Boulevard to take home your free flow spa today. Bonsall Pool and Spa, also online at bonsallpool.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Vinny Kreekak, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the coolest rooftop patio bar in Lincoln, the Barred Owl, on the top floor of the hotel with great views of the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through October 3rd are buy a New York strip and get a free finished flat iron steak. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
This is the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What's up? We're back. Breaking it down, having some good conversations here, good talks. About to wrap this thing up. EP Harrison.
We're going to do this every day. Here's what we know. So
Yeah.
the official grand opening is Thursday.
Got it.
At 6:00. So guess who the highlight is? AG.
Right.
We invited everybody down. Mary Ellen's is bringing food. Ooh. Canes is coming.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're gonna have quite the little party. Yeah, we're gonna have quite the little party. And then what we were gonna do is go Monday through Friday. You're not available Fridays because you're always working.
This Friday I am available.
This Friday you're here for the actual Illinois games. That's good.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll normally do that. Normally we'll put you on Saturday.
And next Friday I'm here too.
Well, then there's a bye week.
Okay, next week.
Yeah,
okay.
That's a bye week, so we don't have to worry about that. But to have you, we wanted to have you and DeMornay back to back each weeknight, and normally we would do that tonight. DeMornay is like, my daughter needs me. I'm like, bro, we'll just move Megan up. We'll move Megan up. We'll have to worry about it. The lineup is so good now that now we get to work on some real projects with the things, and then once we get the podcast studio up, the second studio up and open, then we can really get to some work. Because I want to just imagine the space back here with a portable gaming system that we can roll in.
Oh no, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. I can't wait.
Yeah, so
I know your brain was kicking. It was turning. You just didn't know where we were at yet.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to end up doing over the course of this thing. Lots of breakdown along the way. I'll ask this because how much do you watch the NFL now?
A lot.
Right.
I mean, between I was just thinking about it today. Was like on Mondays is Good Morning Football, and then Tuesdays Get Up, Wednesdays Stephen A, and then I kind of reset. Go back to on Thursday I'm Good Morning Football or Sports Center.
Mm-hmm.
And then now being home, I get to watch my Huskers. I get highlights and updates on that, and watch them the volleyball. The girls do their thing.
Yep.
they're undefeated right now.
Yeah.
It's going good for coach over there. So that's kind of my routine. That's what I told my students in my intro to sports media, which is tomorrow, 12:30 and 1:45. I said, if they're all majoring, that's going to be in the journalism college or the J school. And I said, if this is going to be your neighborhood. I remember a conversation I had when I did the NFL alumni broadcasting camp.
Mm-hmm.
They had it at Mount Laurel in New Jersey at NFL Films. And that was my second time actually doing it. And I was going to do it as many times as it's going to let me. Because I'm getting hands-on experience. I'm getting in settings just like this, talking it out and making sure I'm working on I'm not saying or and all that conversation. And so I said to the students first week of class was like, if this is going to be your profession, you got to process it as is. So you got to have information of who won the Mets game, who's leading the standings in the NL East. Playoffs is around the corner for baseball. Playoffs started. NBA trades going on. Dame Dine is a Buck now, and you saw the musical players of Drew Holiday eventually ending up as a Celtic when he started as a Buck, then to a Portland. Now he's a Celtic. So I said, you got to kind of immerse yourself in that world. I said, just pick one thing, pick one thing simple you could start with. And then as you keep going every day, every week, it grows to then where you're on your phone, looking at your app, or you're in fantasy football, or you're on a computer at work or in class or studying up for something for our class to get your knowledge of what we was talking about, development of being in the sports media world. You got to know everything, or you got to at least haven't had your finger on something to say, oh yeah, I heard about that, that game or that player, Chandler Jones, what happened to him? I heard what happened to him. Hope he's okay and hope he comes out from that situation. So you got to be in the moment. You got to know your area. I mean, especially if it's something you're passionate about, because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. I wouldn't be here right now if I wasn't passionate about esports and making my players better and helping this team get a facility here on campus sooner or later. I wouldn't be here doing this. I'll be in Texas right now with my wife, my 2 dogs chilling.
Yep. You have the resources now.
So I'm here to develop, just like I was developed. My brothers, my mom, dad developed me. Then they handed me off to coaches at the local high school at Central and North, and then Little League ball with the North Omaha Bears, and then eventually here in Lincoln, Coach Osborne, Coach Solich, Charlie McBride, Milt Tennerbert. Even though those other coaches weren't directly my coach, they had some influence on me.
Oh, 100%.
Oh,
It's a big part of it. And then I'll offer you this before we get out of here. If you ever need me to come down and talk to you folks, I'm there.
Oh,
all you got to do is ask.
Yes.
All you got to do is ask.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely going to have that. So, yeah, you'll be getting that call.
There we go, brother. Don't go anywhere. Harrison's going to take us through Ticket Weeknights. Should be a good one. Harrison Orange, thank you, kind sir. AG, appreciate you, brother.
Hey, no problem.
Don't go anywhere. 93.7 The Ticket.
Yep.